Hello, families. This has been a strange year, and I think we've all learned some things about ourselves and others that we wouldn't have otherwise because life has never pivoted so significantly for so long as during this pandemic. So, among the lessons I've learned is that I need a more targeted form of contact with families over the course of the year. And that's not been a part of my class. That was introduced this year in order to try to maintain some continuity for those kids who are losing touch with their potential. Now, I have a fine art degree. I made a living as a graphic and fine artist for 20 years before becoming an educator, and I love art. I became a teacher just out of necessity to help my family. And it's a long story, but the short version is I never imagined I would love it so much. It is the most rewarding career that I've had. And that includes my love of art and living that 24/7. However, in school, I find the lessons that are delivered leave the students little chance for true autonomy. And the drive towards working towards mastery just doesn't exist. School is a place where good enough, is this good enough? Is the response students have been taught over the years, depending upon the grade they're looking at. Is this good enough for a C? Will this get me an A? Is this good enough? I don't want you, I'm speaking to the students, I don't want you to try to get good enough. I want you to work towards mastery. I want you to feel what it feels like to do something awesome. And then purpose. For most people, the purpose is becoming a better person, getting ready for college. Whatever it is, it has to deal with you. Well, this comes from studies on human beings and what are some of our basic needs. And this is something called the self-determination theory, that we as humans need. We don't want, we need a level of autonomy. Without it, we're lost. It's just life is meaningless. We need to be able to add our ideas, our creativity into whatever it is we do. And when you do that, you naturally work towards mastery. However, neither one of these two things really work unless you have an overarching purpose, something larger than yourself. And in the Mac Lab, the kids and I, the kids who get it, understand that my purpose is to try to prove there's a better way to help students become lifelong learners. And that is by giving them a level of autonomy in what they do and encouraging them to work towards mastery rather than good enough. Now, there's a lot more I'd like to say, but I want to honor your time. This week in the dailies, I'm going to be going over some things like this. I'm not going to be telling kids what I expect them to do because I've done that consistently for the first 8 weeks, and everything I've had to say is there on the daily page for them to see. I want you to understand in a normal year, the kids who do nothing, who don't show up, those are my Fs. Those are the kids that I give an F to. But I have no idea because most of these kids, their parents won't even respond to me. What's going on in those homes? What's happening? I don't know. So no one's going to fail this course. If you have any concern about your child, it's not going to happen. My interest is in helping students become contributing members of our society, and more important, discovering what their potential could be when they start to understand that Life has possibilities that begin before you're out of high school. Anyway, thank you for accompanying me on this journey. If your student's coming back next year, this experience for me reaching out to you will change the way we operate next year to a certain degree. But I want to thank you, those of you who do pay attention to this, and I know some of you do. So thanks, and I wish you the best for you and your family, and I hope that your student got something meaningful out of this year.